What is up, guys? Linus here with another episode of Rowdy Touring. Big updates, well, big teasers today. This will be the last day in my Audi S4. Pretty excited, new things coming. Extremely excited for the new build on the new car. We're not going to reveal it just yet. Throw your guesses down below. So we were looking at a 2012 Evora S Lotus, an Audi R8, like a 2014, 2016 Nissan GTR, the Audi RS5s. But what do you guys think? What did we pull the trigger on? Today's the last day with this Audi. I gotta say, I love the car. I mean, it's just so nice, so comfortable on the inside. Sounds amazing, power's amazing, all-wheel drive. Love it. Just love this car. But we've had this car for 2.5 years. That's like a year longer than I normally keep my cars. So, time to go. Out with the old, in with the new. So anyway, guys, we got a whole bunch of things coming for this new car. So I'll tell you what the mods are. Seibon carbon fiber rear wing, tow hook license plate mount coming in. Most likely gonna do an ECU tune relatively quickly on this car. I mean, I'm gonna keep it stock right away so that when I get used to that power, then I can upgrade it. I don't want to upgrade it right off the bat, because then you'll get used to that power and then it's harder to upgrade the power after that, right? So I'll keep it stock for at least a month or two, maybe even for the season. The car's not, I don't get the car for a few weeks. So there's a little hint, the car is not in the city. It's having to be shipped in. See if that helps with your guys' guesses at all. It's red. However, it's going to be wrapped. The wrapping we're going to do pretty much right away, just because I want to protect the car as quickly as possible with a nice vinyl wrap. So I'm actually probably in the next 2 weeks or so, I have to give a deposit to a local wrap place to get the designers working, because it's going to be a custom wrap. The main colors we're going to stay with are probably going to be like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the whole thing like satin or like matte, like it's not going to be gloss. And we're probably going with like a dark gray, sort of like a charcoal kind of magnetic gray, like gunmetal kind of gray. How many more other words can I use for gray? Actually, isn't this funny? I don't know why. I've always used the word charcoal for like a dark gray, but charcoal is black. Like, it's so black. Like, if you ever had charcoal on your fingers, it is so black. But I don't know where it came from that I used saying charcoal for gray. I'm not sure where that came from. I'm sure it was some car manufacturer had a gray called charcoal gray, and that's where it came from. Tell me down below, which car company was it that had a charcoal gray? Or it just didn't exist and I'm just crazy. Oh, where am I going? Okay, so there's gonna be a dark gray, gunmetal gray, black, and then red, like a really nice, think like Canadian flag red, and maybe a little bit of white. And it's all gonna be like satin, like, or matte. It's not gonna be gloss. So that's the wrap. I've sent some ideas already to the designers and sort of giving them an idea of what I want. I kind of like the idea of the vehicle looking different from every angle. Just so, like, if you see the car from behind, you're like, oh, it's this car with this kind of design. And then you see it from the front and it's like, oh, it's a totally different color and design. And then same thing from the side, maybe you'll see a way that it kind of all meshes together. So sort of you have 3 different ways to look at it, which I think is pretty neat. Always wanted to do a cool wrap on the car, on any of my cars. And it was always so expensive. I mean, not that the price has changed, but what I managed to do this time is I'm getting the price of the wrap worked into the car where I'm buying it. So basically I got them to add $4,000 to the cost of my car. So essentially I'm financing the $4,000 wrap through the car is how I'm doing it. So yeah, so I'm super excited for that. Plus it protects everything. And what's great about that as well is that if you get bored of the wrap in if in a year from now I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm done with this, you can just peel it off and go back to the factory color. Because I'm probably only going to see the car in factory color for maybe 1 to 3 days. Like essentially once I have a firm delivery date, I'm going to be booking the time with the wrap shop like pretty much right away. That's like the first thing we're doing. Which therein lies also the other question is, if I get the carbon wing, do I leave the wing just carbon on top of the design? I'm thinking right now the back of the car is going to be red with a design, like not just flat red, but I'm curious how it would look with a big carbon wing on the back. Just so we're I'm not gonna spoil anything yet. It's not like a crazy wing. It's not like a lip spoiler either. It's in between. I don't want to spoil anything. Curious to see how it would look, and I don't know if that's something I can play with the designers on with their design software, if they could like Photoshop in the wing in carbon to see how it looks. Worst case is I can just bring it back to the shop and get them to wrap just the wing after the fact. I think though, if I was to leave the wing carbon fiber, I might have to get other carbon fiber pieces, because then that would be the only visible carbon fiber on the entire car. And I think you would need to add more in to help it flow more. So like if there was carbon fiber, like they make a whole bunch of carbon fiber parts for this car, so I might end up having to get more. I mean, like having to. Like I wish I didn't. It's just you gots to put the carbon on. Like this Audi's been the best car I've ever owned. I mean, every car I've owned has been an upgrade, realistically. Now that being said, this new car, functionality-wise and practicality-wise, is a pretty big downgrade. But who cares? That's like the least important thing. Like when I look for buying a car, I will admit when I bought this car, that is, I was like, oh, it's so amazing. 4 doors, all-wheel drive, big trunk, huge amounts of space on the inside, super luxurious, And then, I kind of didn't like how plain this car is. This car is probably faster than, keep in mind I'm in Ottawa, right? So there's no supercars, really. So this car is probably faster than, I would say, like 95% of the vehicles on the road. It's just so quick, right? Like with the 354 horsepower, sorry, and gobs of torque with that turbo, and it's all-wheel drive. Like it's just a rocket ship, and launching this car is just out of this world. The new car does also have launch control. Fun extra little hint there. The thing about Audis is, unless you're buying like an R8, is like if you see an A4, an S4, we don't have them here, but an RS4, or like let's say an A5, an S5, an RS5, they are so similar. The only difference really is the RS5 has like a honeycomb grille on the front, and I think it's got a slightly different hood, maybe wider tires, but like the overall look of the car is so similar to like an S5, and then of course from an S5 to an A5. It's sort of like if you had a house that looked like a shack on the outside. I guess there is a little bit of vanity in it, One thing I love about this car as well, when you get the windows down in the summer, it's pouring rain right now, so can't do it, but you hear like the whistling of the air intake, like when you're gassing. Oh my god, it sounds so good. I'm super excited about the new car. It's definitely not practical. And let's be honest, when you're trying to get a YouTube channel going, you need cars that are different, that you don't see all over the road, that turn heads. Because realistically, that's what gets people looking at your channel. Woo! Massive puddle. I love hitting puddles. That's like never changed for me. As a, as a kid, kids love jumping in puddles. As an adult, you just drive your car through puddles.